Lagos to Port Harcourt at 10:40 a.m. and 5:10 p.m., while Lagos to Warri is at 2 p.m. Ibom Air, Lagos to Abuja flight at 11 a.m. and 6:30 p.m. Lagos to Port Harcourt is at 10:50 a.m., while Lagos to Enugu is at 3 p.m. and Lagos to Uyo at 1:30 p.m. and 4:30 p.m. Air Peace, Lagos to Abuja flight at 10:35 a.m., 1:45 p.m., 2:20 p.m., 6 p.m. and 6:15 p.m., while Lagos to Port Harcourt is at 10:30 a.m. and Lagos to Benin at 12 noon, while Lagos to Kano is at 2:40 p.m. That ends flash schedule on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
You've just listened to Flight Schedule brought to you by Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
Without the roads, there won't be vehicles. Without the roads, there won't be the streetlights. Without the roads, there won't be the need for traffic lights. Without the roads, there won't be any need for the national officials. Without you, there won't be the roads. Without you, there won't be us. Therefore, observe the rules of driving. A message from Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM, moving Lagos forward.
Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. From our studio, it's time for us to bring you Farm School with African farmer MOGAJI.
Farm School with African farmer MOGAJI. Do you know you can make money with less capital while you go about your 9-to-5 or business? Are you considering retiring into the world of agribusiness? If your answer is yes to any of these questions, then join us on Farm School with African farmer MOGAJI as he unveils some hidden secrets, uncover common mistakes, and harness the potentials of the agriculture value chain. Farm School with African farmer MOGAJI every Thursday at 10:15 a.m. to 11 a.m. on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. He'll expose you to the intricacies of the agribusiness and how you can tap into the benefits of the agriculture value chain. Thursdays, 10:15 a.m. on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. Farm School with African farmer MOGAJI. It's time to farm and grow rich.
Very good morning to you. Welcome to Farm School with African farmer MOGAJI on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM. And of course, I have with me the African farmer himself.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm trying to be fine.
Trying?
Yeah, it can get better.
Even with Nigeria winning yesterday? Still trying?
No, I really don't watch football again, because a few years back, when I watch football, I end up using Panadol. My temperature really goes up.
Oh, wow.
So after some time, I now devise another means where I would use the medicine 30 minutes before the match.
Okay.
So it allows my temperature not to go up. So, one day it dawned on me that if they lose, they get paid in dollars. If they win, they get paid in dollars. So why should I waste my time? So I watch rematch.
Okay, all the highlights.
Yeah. So I'm being patriotic, but nah, I don't watch it. Because I'm intense with anything I do.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, all right, that's okay.
So congratulations to Nigeria.
Yes, so congratulations to Nigeria. All right, so on Farm School today, we're discussing Southwest food security.
Yeah.
In the last 3 weeks, we've talked about the Agbado economy. We've talked about the
spoke about opportunities,
yes, and then some of the value chain and a few other things, the availability of land and what Nigerians can do with it and how they can access. So today is about the Southwest food security. What is it about the Southwest food security that we should be attentive to, and why Southwest in particular?
Okay, so let me add a little to it to say Southwest food security 2024.
2024.
So it's specific. 2025 before.
Okay.
Why? I hope you know that the most food insecure region in the country is the South.
South. Okay.
And when you break the South further, it's Southwest.
Southwest.
Why Southwest? The population is huge.
Okay.
The economic nerve of Southwest, has the highest population almost in the country. Urbanization is huge, and every day you have thousands of people moving into most of the states in the Southwest.
True.
Okay, so and we've not been leveraging the agri sector like other middle belt and the northern part of the country. So there's a lot of challenge with high population, low food coming in, and peradventure there's the bad roads now. Affects food coming to Southwest. So for 2024, with government trying to fix a lot of roads, as they're trying to fix a lot of roads, it means that it would affect movement of vehicle delay, so to speak, or slow down. And as that happens, it also affects food coming in. So we need to pay attention and to be more proactive with that. And as it is now, climate change is something that I've not seen us really pay attention to. We talk about it, we're trying to do things, but not at the scale at which it poses a threat. So if I say this always, if it does not rain for 2 months during the rainy season, we're not prepared to survive. Because about 80% of the tomatoes produced comes from a particular region. Almost our basic foods come from two regions. So if we're not proactive now, considering that it is also not enough and the prices are going high, and we have quite a number of challenges that we should all be fixing together, not only government. I'm not an advocate of government. You will never find me there. It's private sector.
Right.
Because we can lobby government. People in government are our families. They are friends. They are religious members. So bottom line is we need to pay attention now, because any disruption affects Southwest the most. And also, Southwest is at the best advantage when it comes to food security in Nigeria. We've not just leveraged it. Now, what do I mean by that? When it comes to we want to export, the potential is huge for Southwest, because all terminals, either you want to fly or you want to go by sea, is Southwest.
But we're just not leveraging.
We're not leveraging. A majority, 100% of everything that grows in the north grows in Southwest.
True.
The northern part of every state in this country, in Southwest, grows commercially in terms of potential. Anything produced in the north. So I've said it many times, carrots do well in Ekpe. So if you grow carrots in Ekpe, where else can't you grow carrots? So Southwest has not leveraged. And when push comes to shove, when they have to ration, and every region has to take care of themselves, we are not producing. But what really gets me thinking the most is if Southwesterners, if there's any word like that, can wake up to know that there are these 4 months of the year where money is begging and praying for people to wake up and attract and open the doors for them to come in. It mostly starts around May. It's a window.
All right.
Okay, but to get that job done, you need 3 months
prior to that time,
which is February.
Wow.
We're in that window, and even to do that window, you need knowledge. So take for instance now. So recently I began to say on many media platforms, especially television, that if we don't take some decisions by the 20th of February, we may have a huge challenge when it comes from May. And why do I say that? The opportunities are huge. There are facilities that government has provided that private sector has not leveraged. I know quite a lot of people now, because of the challenges in the economy, is saying government. But if government pays me well, I use the word well, I will make a case for the infrastructure that government has in place that nobody is using. So we need to, work together now to look at how can we leverage this. So let me say this because, every time I come or I talk, it's a cocktail of knowledge, not one size fits all. So let me just put this out. Peradventure somebody also is willing, to take that responsibility that we are government, we are partners with government. Now, most of the waters, and to be able to feed ourselves around that time, we need a lot of irrigation.
Yes.
And we have infrastructure, and we have money private sector, who have these facilities. Now, if you are going to make some foods available, things like tomatoes and co, you cannot use water coming as shower on tomatoes, mostly in Southwest, except you are using water from borehole. Why? Most of our waters connecting through Ogun and Osun rivers, that's what spreads a lot around Southwest, have some things in them
that are not favorable to crops.
To the crops. And it will affect the crops when it is 90% mature. And it will wither off and you will lose almost 100% of those crops.
Okay. Pause. We'll quickly take shipping position and then, because this is getting very interesting, we'll quickly take shipping position and then we'll be back.
This is Shipping Position, brought to you by Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
Our shipping position, 21 ships laden with petroleum products, container, general cargo, food items and others are expected at the Lagos Sports Complex today. The Nigerian Ports Authority, NPA, made this known in its publication, Shipping Position. The publication said that 17 of the ships contain bulk sugar, bulk gypsum, AGO, bulk wheat, bulk sugar, gas, bulk clinker, bulk base oil, PMS, container and ethanol. NPA reports that 2 motor vessels are waiting to berth with SBM and container, while 2 motor tankers are waiting to berth with AGO and PMS. And that was Shipping Position on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
You've just listened to Shipping Position, brought to you by Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.
Then quickly, this update, CMS at Mambo, Eco Bridge, slow movement on CMS Bridge inward of Canal markets due to high influx, but a good movement after Ofin Canal market. And this is through Eco Bridge to Costain, while the return journey from Eco Bridge inward CMS Bridge is a steady movement. No record of impediment cited. From the Lake Aja axis is still very good as well. T Junction, Eleko, Awoyaya is good. Abijo, GRA. The construction site at Farah Park is still okay. Farah Park stretched to Crown Estate, Shoprite, Safeway. Other construction sites is still very slow. Well, it's a slow moving traffic, and this is due to the ongoing construction work coupled with contraflow. Safeway stretched to Ogidon. Abraham Adesanya to Aja under the bridge is still in good shape. The return journey from Aja under the bridge inward Abraham Adesanya connecting Ogidon to Patron is still a good one. And Awoyaya inward Gulf, Eleko T Junction also good. No record of impediments cited. We have traffic managers on ground doing the needful. All right, so yes, back to what we were talking about. We're talking about immigration and the fact that some well, I don't want to say particles, some elements.
No, so I am also
in the water.
I'm also deliberating not mentioning so that people don't, take it out of context.
Yes.
Because I understand media.
Yes.
So it contains some properties in that is natural, that affects some of the crops.
Okay.
Most of our fruit vegetables, but it doesn't affect okra.
Okra. Oh,
It doesn't
okay.
affect okra. It doesn't affect cucumbers. It doesn't affect watermelons.
Okay.
But the tomatoes and the peppers
Are affected.
You know, they are all affected.
Especially when they are at the advanced stage
Yes,
of germination.
90%.
Right. Wow.
And you almost lose everything.
Wow.
So that is information for someone. So they just don't go and think, the easiest type of irrigation is the sprinkler, the one that sprinkles water.
Okay.
So for someone who will listen to me
So
and
it's
just
regulated.
say, yeah, and say, oh, this man said, and go and buy. No, please. If you're using boreholes, fine. But drip irrigation is the best. If you don't have drip irrigation, there's what it's called canal or channel, where the waters flow on the ground. That is what they use mostly, in the north.
Okay.
Also, so it's very crucial that we understand. If you have access to irrigation facilities, that will be fantastic. If you don't have access to irrigation facilities, and you also want to use government lands, there are a lot of dynamics with government lands. It's amazing how Nigerians think sometimes, which is, I go for seminars and I teach people how to access government lands within 48 hours.
Okay.
And after the event, people will now call and tell you, it can't be as easy as you said it. Without, rubbing palms. And I said, I've not rubbed any palm, and nobody has asked me to rub any palm in 27 years. So why don't you just go and prove me wrong?
You don't think the reason you have not been asked to rub palms is probably because at some point it may have happened or it may have occurred, but you didn't succumb, and so they know that, okay, no, Africa from a MOGAJI, you can't.
You know the funny thing? I did this in Jigawa, I did this in Gombe, I did this in Kano. So if there's a system I understand, and I share it, and see, every human being has a need. Every human being has a need.
Yes.
So identify the need. And when I mean need, it could be affirmation.
Okay.
You know, like in civil service, if you go into civil service to make inquiry and you start speaking English or you are forming too much, they will do official job for you.
Okay. So you have to come down to that level and understand them, speak their language.
Yeah, get there. This is what I do mostly. I get there and I say, wow, God will continue to protect you, blah, blah, blah. This work is not easy. Being a federal or state civil servant is not easy. One of the things that is like, we go to the same market, but our pay is not the same, And the moment you identify with them, everything you want will be given to you. But people just come with, maybe they have some money in the pocket, or they have exposure, they are well read. If you come that low, or you start with approaching the people at the front desk and greeting them, smiling.
You always have the information.
They have the information. So when you do that, they'll tell you, go and meet this person. Like I say this, if you go to the head office of some of these projects and say you want land, you will not get it. Why? Because they also don't have the accurate information of what is available and what is not available. They have to make a call.
Okay.
But you find out which project sites are in the area of your interest.
Okay.
And they will now connect you with the project manager. Then you talk directly to the project manager. And the project manager will tell you, oh, somebody is about to leave, or somebody is not using the land, or this is available. Can you, we call it fell, not fall, for trees.
Oh, yeah.
Can you clean it up, and you have access to it? So bottom line is, we need to leverage our waters.
Okay.
This February going forward. But most importantly, like I say on this program, you invest information to harvest profits in agriculture.
Okay.
So information is crucial. So I see on the news and everything about food inflation is affecting me also. It's affecting everybody. But the question I'm asking myself is, we can do something. But the question is, will we do something? Or will you do something? And we always feel that we are incapacitated. And that's not the case. You may have a network. You may have a relationship that can be leveraged, but none of us is incapacitated, but we need to be more proactive now. And I see this especially, I touched a little last week about the religious institutions.
Yes.
Specifically now, I would say this, the church needs to fund agriculture now. The churches.
Okay.
And what do I mean by that? Many of the churches have budgets to feed. They have conventions every year.
Yes.
End of year, December, there's a budget already in January, sitting down in a bank, depreciating value as of today. But if they do some pilots now, when the rainy season starts, if it's rice they produce, they would have added value to the economy and used that rice to still achieve the intended results.
Okay, true.
Okay, they would have created jobs. They would have created inputs for other sectors, and they will still be achieving their result. And already the money is also budgeted for. So it's not that they're looking for the money. So let's be more productive. It's looking like, when you talk about the talents that, that God, they gave somebody a talent. So
yes.
that talent is currently being buried and can be unlocked. Secondly, is that feeding is something that, aligns with the beliefs. And that's why I'm talking about churches specifically.
Okay.
And also, the churches have structures. When I say structures, I mean they have, Southwest Zone, Southeast Zone, up to some churches have churches in every village, every local government. So leveraging those systems that they have, to come into agriculture, to collaborate with Nigerians and government is more needed now. And that even does not have to do with money. You just leverage your system and infrastructure. And I always say this, and I repeat it, if the missionaries are coming to Nigeria today, they will not come with education. They will not come with health. They will come with agriculture to feed, because they always brought the needs and used the needs as a bridge to reach out. So these three components is something available that the government the churches can partner with governments now.
And this has nothing to do with the government right now.
No.
They have the structure, they have the two elements needed
and
right now.
The older ones, the ones that have been in existence for over 30 years, have massive lands that is not being used for anything. For future projects.
Okay.
And in fact, some of these churches have funds for future projects.
Okay.
So right now, I would appreciate if the churches pay attention to the fact that they are part of the system and not isolated of the system.
Okay.
Because somewhere even in the Bible it says that I was hungry, you did not feed me. When Jesus did a crusade, it's recorded that he said the people will go hungry, so don't let us allow them
to go hungry.
Okay, so he fed them, he made provision for them before. This thing is practical, and it's time to step in. This is the truth. Okay, you can't hide the truth. We've seen alternative finance fund our roads.
Yes.
You're going to Ife from Ibadan is alternative finance. Even going to CMS is alternative finance. That is a religious organization also funding impact. Okay, so let it be balanced. Let everybody support government and Nigerians. The church can no longer be isolated in this. Moreover, you will feed. At least you will have 2 major events every year that you buy vegetable oil, and we can plant those things. Even if it's not for this year, for 2025, let us create the jobs because we are an NGO. So, but bottom line is, so we need to leverage what we have now and not just say government. The people who go to mosque every Friday are hungry. And there's provision. The people who go to church, there's provision. Can we be more productive? Can we bring our resources to productivity now, and get things done? And that is more crucial. I don't believe in government. The religious bodies have huge contribution. Our leaders, our traditional leaders, have more responsibility because they have lands. So they can also rule the religious organizations to say, come fund this, we'll make this available for you. Right now, we cannot afford to say government. But remember, every time you point one finger to government, 4 is saying, what are you doing? 4. So we need to take more responsibility now as Nigerians and stop saying government. I said this. Okay, many of us have some bias. I also. About government, people in government. But, if you know, I said this to someone sometime ago. I said, if you know a madman is a madman by virtue of the physical thing, and if you are now complaining that this person is mad, who is mad really? Who has the challenge? It's you. So
because you know.
So let us showcase something that we can lobby government to be part of.
Okay. So let me quickly ask this question. Now, for someone, you have all of the information. Has there been a situation where you brought together maybe a consortium of, those who have this, maybe I'll call them infrastructure, land and stuff, to bring them together to form maybe a lobby group where you can now have an interface with the government and have a sit down and let's have this resources, this infrastructure put to good use, for the benefit of Nigerians. Because as you said, really, we cannot continue to rely on just the government. We have to, be productive, not just being proactive, but we also have to be productive. So has there been an effort to bring together these people to form a consortium to approach the government? Okay, this is what we have in mind. Can you give us access to so and so we can use what you have given us access to and what we have, and then really work on this food security we've been talking about?
So in time past we tried to do that. I've done that in a private capacity, bringing people into leveraging. I have trailer loads of testimonies on that. But when it comes to bringing elites, educated people is issues. I belong to a WhatsApp group of when you say the prime de la prime, and you find out that it's complain. And even when you say, okay, guys, this complaining, the government people are not hearing, they're not on this WhatsApp group.
Yes.
Okay, and in fact, there's a commissioner of agriculture on the group. But when you are always complaining, and when you say, okay, let's fix this, let's have this program online, let's do this, the group will go silent because nobody wants to be singled out. And when you say, okay, I will champion it, everybody hide. They won't say anything. But the next news, they can analyze it. And when you interject that analysis to say, guys, we can do something instead of analyzing, no, they would. That's how Nigerians are wired, especially if they're educated, they have good jobs, and not just good jobs, they are not average.
Okay, so what about the religious organizations? I mean,
so right now, I'm going after the religious organizations to say, we will come speak free.
Okay.
And we would help put the structures in place. Fundamentally, don't plan to make your church members in charge of implementation. That has killed a few projects that I've seen and I've worked on.
Okay.
You must put square pegs and square holes. When you are building the buildings, the cathedrals, you don't bring a quack, you bring the expert.
Of course.
Okay, and you set up a committee that interfaces. Okay, so until they do that also. But right now we need to go after the religious organizations to speak. I'm happy to go to NASFAT to say, hey guys, let's do this. This is what even the Quran says about it. Because I've done that research, because we're primarily religious. Okay?
Yeah.
But we need to practice the religion. Like if I quote Quran on honey, okay, and I use that to make a lot of money in the north, where I'm able to read a Quran and show them, read this Quran. Does it say this? I quote it and they say, yeah. Okay, why don't you have honey? They ask, okay, this is honey, buy. And they buy. Because they read it in their Quran. And, so right now, we need to use unorthodox ways to get people in. And everybody has a responsibility. We listen to our imams and pastors more than we listen to government or our bosses at work. So can we leverage those institutions now? Can government leverage those institutions? Can we leverage those institutions knowing fully well that they would listen? And guess what? Media is what government has always underplayed when it comes to reaching the people. We need to get media involved heavily. But there are lands available right now. There is infrastructure. Some of these lands have tractors on it.
Okay.
Some of these tractors have labor available. Most of the problems that is associated with production, some of these lands have those solutions. And right now is the time for us to embrace these opportunities. And so instead of, after you've complained, okay, can you now begin to say, how can I make money from this crisis? Because some people will make money from it.
Yes, of course.
Some people, government has said we will work with millers and people with warehouses. Those are some people who have been proactive to invest in grains. So right now we need to leverage and say, when will if tomato goes expensive, can I make money from it?
Okay, let's quickly see who's on it. Hello, good morning.
We'll have to go.
All right, so all right. There's so much to talk about. I'm not sure we can exhaust everything this today.
What I'm saying is, I'm not going to ask you to give me your money, but I will show you where the infrastructure is, how you can get involved on a part-time basis without giving me your money, so that you are peace. That's okay. I would say this is who sells the fertilizer. Send your monies there. We will put the team together to work with you, and you're doing it on a part-time basis.
Okay.
I will get some remuneration, but it will be result-based.
Yes.
Okay.
Let's quickly take this call. So, hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, fantastic idea this morning.
Sorry?
Yeah, this Ambassador Musa here from Michigan.
Okay.
Yeah. To me, I love the take of your girls this morning. Fantastic idea, but how can we stop exploiting ourselves to make the Nigerian group, like you mentioned? You mentioned religions, leaders, and media. Fantastic. But let me tell you, everybody, even religion exploit Nigerians. Sure, Samina.
Yes.
Look, so why do people go to religious centers? Why did they go there? Just because when you call
Ambassador, I sincerely apologize for cutting you short. Please stay on the line. Please, I just want to ask you, Ambassador, can you tell me, your name is Musbat, right?
Okay.
Oh, yes.
Musbat. Ambassador, can you tell me how this weekend or next weekend you can organize how I can come to your place of religious worship and share this information? Do you get it?
Okay, I understand you.
Yeah.
I'm not a religious person, but I have an angel wrong. If you can come this Saturday, people will be there to talk to you.
So this Saturday, I have.
Saturday at meeting 10 a.m. People will be there. I organize this.
Ambassador, if you organize next Saturday, I will come. I'm already fully engaged.
One second Saturday of every month.
Ambassador, I'm engaged this Saturday.
Okay, no problem. But
even if it is 10, please hold on. Even if it is 10 people, I will show up so that I show my commitment that I'm not just talking.
I will make sure I organize it again for you on Saturday. Next week today. But I'm telling you, please, I'm appealing to Nigeria. We should stop exploiting us. Let's get our brothers cheaper.
Yes. Thank you.
Musba, we have your number noted. He'll get in touch with you.
Yes. So just do as much publicity and I will show you. At least I have close to 120 acres in my care.
Okay.
Cleared with infrastructure needed to make you make good profits.
Okay.
In May. So that we can both say, oh, we were not part of the complainers. We made money from this scenario. But understand, if government has to import food money has to be made.
Yes.
So can you make money? When you decide that you have to make the money, then we can do something. But when we still continue to talk about where the challenges are, and we know the challenges, but the opportunities now is staring us in the face. Can we take the opportunities? Okay, if I'm saying I'm not taking money from you, I'm taking money from the results.
Yes.
It means you should also know that there's something. There's something I believe in. So if you don't make money, we don't make money.
True.
But we'll show you everything, and you don't really have to be the one running these projects because it's contiguous and it's government.
Yeah.
So let us leverage government now. So people say government leverages us. Let us leverage them. And I can tell you there are thousands of acres available. And I will say this, irrespective of criticism. I know before the president got into office, there were conversations I had the wind off on food security. So I will say this, based on those conversations and in the kitchen, I'm not part of it.
Yeah.
I can say that if we showcase some things, government can say, let's work with them.
Okay.
Nobody wants to experiment now. So until you showcase something, these opportunities will not come to you. So let's say we do it, and in May I'm back here and I'm saying we planted corn, we produced 5 million cobs of corn, it was sold in this place, and people can verify, we document it. Government will say, can you scale this up? That is how we should be thinking of lobbying government, because the resources of government now is also limited. But I can say this to you, by 20th of this month, instead of waiting for government decision, we can mobilize and use these places.
Okay.
I can be reached via WhatsApp or SMS.
Okay.
That number is not a number I speak on. 0809 7000 0809 7000 0809 7000 on my social media platforms at African Farmer M. At African Farmer M. I've stayed away from social media for like 2 years, observing and analyzing. Now is the time for us to go back and leverage and take advantage. Many of us now that have monies in the bank, the value is gradually depreciating. The money you put in the soil comes back as profit.
True.
Right now.
Yes.
Instead of keeping money in the bank with the right information, if you put the money in the soil, it comes out as profit because there's a higher demand for food now than the supply. But guess what? The caveat is, without the right information, the money put in the soil will stay in the soil.
Yes.
It will not come out as profit.
You're
But
right.
there's a demand for it. Let's work together. Let's leave government and let us become government. We voted government across board. We are government, and let's prove and let's position for the greater Nigeria. I believe in Nigeria. Nigeria shall rise again.
Yes, sir.
I listen to the music every day. I named my first child in a green, white, green attire. My first child. So I am passionate about this country, and no matter what negativity is happening, is 100% opportunity. 2024, our Kenny Amayu. Meaning, if you are pounding in the mortar and cooking your soup in granite shell, the people that will be satisfied will be satisfied. I'm just looking for a few people that we can walk that journey together, at least showcase. Try it out. And that's all I'm appealing to you today. Let's try it out. We have made almost all the mistakes that can ever happen in 27 years.
Okay. So you know what to do and what not to do.
We know what to do. Some of these lands I've been using part of them for 20 years. And so don't worry about is the nutrient there again. We know what to do. You know the good thing about what's happening in the country right now is that there's nothing you want to use. Before, we didn't have everything right.
Yeah.
But there's nothing you want to use to get a 200%, 300% productivity. Everything is available now. But the negativity is not allowing those conversations come out. So work with me. Let's work with each other without your money getting to me. We'll tell you what to do with the money, and let's work together.
Okay, we have to draw the curtains here. I mean, we can continue this conversation next week,
Yes.
Thursday, because there's still a lot to be said concerning food security in the Southwest and the opportunities available. So I'm sure that next week, Thursday, we'll be getting into more of that conversation.
I'll narrow into tomatoes and the exact opportunities,
okay.
But the how. It's not on radio.
It's not on radio, I understand. All right, so that's our package on Farm School with African farmer MOGAJI for this week. Thank you very much again for coming.
Thank you.
My name is Dele Agadumo. Big thanks to Victor Terry and to our executive producer, Tayo Akonle. Farm School returns next week, Thursday at 10:15 a.m. on Lagos Traffic Radio 96.1 FM.